Riding the Death Trip, a philosophical exploration of accelerationism, amphetamine philosophy, and the nihilistic tendencies. Welcome back to The Crux. In today's episode, Riding the Death Trip, we take a philosophical journey into the depths of accelerationism, amphetamine philosophy, and nihilism. Join us as we explore the philosophical underpinnings of these concepts and their implications for our society and the future. Exploring accelerationism, amphetamine philosophy, and nihilism requires a historical context that extends beyond their contemporary manifestations. Each of these concepts has roots in earlier philosophical and cultural movements that provide essential context for understanding their current significance. Accelerationism can be traced back to the 19th century, when the Industrial Revolution led to unprecedented economic growth and technological advancement. This era witnessed the emergence of a number of utopian and dystopian visions of the future, which were often characterized by a belief in the transformative power of technology. The Marxist philosopher Friedrich Engels, for example, predicted that the development of technology would lead to a post-scarcity society in which social inequality would be eliminated. In the 20th century, accelerationism was revived by philosophers such as Gilles Deleuze and Félix Guattari, who argued that capitalism and technology could be used to accelerate social change and create new forms of social organization. Amphetamine philosophy has its roots in the counterculture movements of the 1960s and 70s, which rejected traditional values and embraced alternative lifestyles and modes of consciousness. The use of amphetamines as a cognitive enhancer was popularized by the Beat Generation writers, who saw them as a means of achieving greater creativity and inspiration. The use of amphetamines as a productivity booster gained popularity in the corporate world during the 1980s and 90s, when the pressures of globalization and competition led to an emphasis on efficiency and performance. Nihilism has a longer history, dating back to the 19th century and the works of philosophers such as Friedrich Nietzsche and Arthur Schopenhauer. Nietzsche famously proclaimed that God is dead and argued that traditional values and beliefs were no longer capable of providing meaning and purpose in life. Nihilism was a major theme of the existentialist movement in the 20th century, which emphasized the individual's struggle to find meaning in a world that seemed inherently meaningless. The significance of these concepts lies in their ability to challenge established norms and offer new visions of the future. They represent a rejection of traditional ways of thinking and an embrace of new possibilities. However, they also raise important ethical and philosophical questions about the role of technology, the nature of human consciousness, and the possibility of meaning in a postmodern world. By exploring these concepts in depth, we can gain a deeper understanding of their philosophical roots and their contemporary significance. Accelerationism is a philosophical concept that advocates for the acceleration of social, technological, and economic change. This acceleration is seen as a means of achieving a more radical transformation of society, one that is capable of overcoming the limitations of traditional forms of organization and social control. There are various forms of accelerationism, ranging from left-wing to right-wing perspectives. Left-wing accelerationism emphasizes the potential of technology and capitalism to generate new forms of social organization and create a post-capitalist society. This involves embracing the potential of automation and artificial intelligence to create a world beyond work, where labor is no longer a requirement for survival. On the other hand, right-wing accelerationism emphasizes the role of technology and capitalism in creating a more efficient and competitive society, where the strongest individuals and groups can succeed and dominate. Accelerationism is closely related to the idea of progress, as it emphasizes the potential of technology and social change to create a better future. However, it also challenges traditional notions of progress, as it argues that the pace of change needs to be accelerated in order to achieve meaningful social transformation. Technology and capitalism are seen as important tools for achieving this transformation, as they have the potential to create new forms of social organization and overcome traditional forms of power and control. Critics of accelerationism argue that it fails to consider the negative consequences of rapid social and technological change. For example, the acceleration of automation and artificial intelligence could lead to widespread unemployment and social disruption, while the acceleration of capitalism could exacerbate existing social inequalities and create new forms of exploitation. Moreover, the idea of accelerating change may also overlook the importance of ethical and moral considerations, such as the need for social justice, human rights, and environmental sustainability. Amphetamine philosophy is a term used to describe the use of amphetamines as a means of enhancing cognitive abilities and facilitating creative and productive thought. While the use of amphetamines has been controversial and subject to debate, it has been an important element of certain philosophical movements and creative subcultures. Amphetamines, also known as speed or uppers, are stimulant drugs that enhance alertness, attention, and physical energy. They have been used for a variety of purposes, including as treatments for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and narcolepsy. However, they have also been used recreationally as a means of enhancing cognitive and creative abilities, and as a way of achieving a euphoric high. In the context of philosophy, amphetamines have been associated with the Beat generation of the 1950s and 1960s, a group of writers and artists who embraced nonconformity and spontaneity. The Beat writers, such as Allen Ginsberg and William S. Burroughs, were known for their use of drugs, including amphetamines, which they saw as a means of enhancing creativity and breaking free from social and cultural constraints. In addition to the Beat writers, amphetamines have also been associated with other creative and intellectual subcultures, such as computer programmers and hackers. In these communities, amphetamines have been seen as a means of increasing productivity and facilitating intense periods of focus and concentration. However, the use of amphetamines as cognitive enhancers has also been subject to criticism and controversy. Some argue that they can have negative side effects, such as anxiety, insomnia, and addiction. Moreover, the use of drugs to enhance cognitive abilities raises ethical questions about fairness and the nature of human enhancement. Nihilism is a philosophical concept that posits that life has no inherent meaning or value. It is often associated with a sense of existential despair and a rejection of traditional moral and ethical norms. The term was coined by Friedrich Nietzsche in the late 19th century, and has since been the subject of much debate and discussion. There are several different forms of nihilism, including moral nihilism, which denies the existence of objective moral values, and epistemological nihilism, which questions the possibility of knowledge and truth. Nihilism can also be associated with a rejection of traditional religious beliefs, and a belief in the ultimate meaninglessness of existence. In the context of accelerationism and amphetamine philosophy, nihilism can be seen as a rejection of the status quo and a desire to break free from societal constraints. Both accelerationism and amphetamine philosophy embrace a sense of urgency and a desire to push boundaries, which can be seen as a nihilistic tendency. However, it is important to note that not all proponents of these movements embrace nihilism, and that there is significant debate and discussion around the appropriate role of nihilistic thought. The implications of nihilism for personal and social ethics are complex and controversial. On one hand, nihilism can be seen as liberating, freeing individuals from the constraints of tradition and allowing them to pursue their own desires and interests. However, it can also be seen as dangerous, leading to a sense of moral relativism and a lack of concern for others. Accelerationism, amphetamine philosophy, and nihilism can be understood as part of a broader philosophical trend that seeks to challenge traditional ways of thinking and push the boundaries of human experience. At their core, these movements share a sense of urgency and a desire for radical change, whether it be in the form of technological progress, cognitive enhancement, or a rejection of traditional values and beliefs. In the contemporary world, these concepts have taken on new significance in the face of pressing global issues such as climate change, globalization, and political polarization. Accelerationism, for example, has been embraced by some as a potential solution to the environmental crisis, with the idea that accelerating technological progress and innovation could help us find new solutions to the challenges we face. However, others argue that such an approach is short-sighted and fails to address the underlying systemic issues that contribute to environmental degradation. Amphetamine philosophy has also taken on new relevance in the context of a highly competitive and fast-paced global economy, where productivity and efficiency are highly prized. The use of cognitive enhancers such as amphetamines has become increasingly common in certain industries, as individuals seek to gain an edge in their work and stay ahead of the competition. However, this has also raised concerns about the potential health risks and ethical implications of such practices. Nihilism, too, has taken on new significance in the face of contemporary issues such as political polarization and the erosion of traditional social norms. The rejection of established values and beliefs can be seen as a response to the perceived failures of existing political and social systems, and a desire to break free from the constraints of tradition and convention. However, nihilism can also contribute to a sense of apathy and disengagement, which can further exacerbate social and political problems. Overall, the connection between accelerationism, amphetamine philosophy, and nihilism reflects a broader philosophical trend that seeks to challenge established ways of thinking and push the boundaries of human experience. While these movements have faced criticism and challenges, they continue to raise important questions about the nature of existence, the role of technology in society, and the appropriate ethical response to pressing global issues. Throughout this video, we have explored the concepts of accelerationism, amphetamine philosophy, and nihilism, and traced their historical development and philosophical underpinnings. We have seen how these movements challenge traditional ways of thinking and push the boundaries of human experience, and how they are connected to broader social and political trends. Accelerationism, with its emphasis on technological progress and the rejection of traditional political and economic systems, represents a radical response to the challenges of the contemporary world. While it has faced criticism for its potential to exacerbate existing inequalities and environmental problems, it nevertheless continues to raise important questions about the role of technology in society. Amphetamine philosophy, with its emphasis on cognitive enhancement and productivity, reflects the pressures of a highly competitive and fast-paced global economy. While it can be seen as a response to the demands of the contemporary workplace, it also raises important ethical questions about the use of cognitive enhancers and the potential health risks associated with their use. Finally, nihilism challenges established values and beliefs, and raises important questions about the nature of existence and the appropriate ethical response to pressing global issues. While it can contribute to a sense of apathy and disengagement, it can also serve as a catalyst for social and political change. The significance of this topic lies in its potential to challenge established ways of thinking and push the boundaries of human experience. The connections between accelerationism, amphetamine philosophy, and nihilism represent a broader philosophical trend that reflects the social and political challenges of our time. As we move forward, it is important to continue to engage with these ideas and the questions they raise, and to consider their implications for the future of philosophy and society as a whole. Thanks for joining us on Riding the Death Trip, where we explored the philosophical depths of accelerationism, amphetamine philosophy, and nihilism. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more philosophical explorations. Until next time, keep riding the edge of thought.